Okay, you got a ding, or maybe it's more than a ding. Maybe it's a full-fledged crunch. So where do you go? And of course, I'm talking about a ding in your car. How do you pick a body shop? I ask myself this all the time. And today, Jim Guthrie from Car Crafters is joining us. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having us.
President of Car Crafters, so nice to have you with us. And I just got myself a new car, and you know, that's something that we think about a lot, is how do we choose a body shop?
Well, hopefully you only have to choose that about once every 3 or 4 years, because that's the average. But
yes.
When you do, ask your friends or family that have had a good experience with a shop. Generally, however, your insurance company is going to give you the best recommendation.
Sure. They
know the shops that are ASE and ICAR certified,
okay,
that have the unibody equipment and the welding equipment and the paint equipment, so they know.
Yes.
So generally, that's the best way, is listen to them.
And that's important, because, I know there's been many times in the past when I would have a ding on my car, and somebody at the supermarket or in a store, in a parking lot would stop me, knock on the window, say, hey, you need a body shop, you need help, and you just don't know who to trust, So in this, obviously what you're saying makes a lot of sense. And, this is a question that I've had, is why would a body shop choose to use used parts in a car? Because I've heard that, and I don't really understand what the reasoning behind
Well, it's not
that.
always the body shop's choice.
Okay.
When you sign, if you are insured, it's your insurance. You make the boo-boo.
Right.
The fine print in your policy says they can use LKQ parts. That means like, kind, and quality. So they can use used, they can use aftermarket, they can use a remanufactured part or a re-chromed part, so to speak, or they can use OEM, original equipment manufacturer. So you sign on for a discount to your policy, and they have a choice to do what kind of parts they want.
Okay. So. Now, I always wonder, does that actually affect the value of your car? So let's say you're ready to sell your car, and you have some used parts in your car. Does that actually affect it at all?
Well, a used part is basically an OEM part. So that's the same. So in a lot of cases, you'll never know.
Okay.
Diminution of value is what you're talking about.
Right,
that's
exactly.
A big subject that we don't have time for today.
I know. We don't even want to worry about that one. Good point. Yeah. Good point. But the thing is, if I want to ensure that my car is going to be in great hands, I mean, what is your advice to let's say somebody like me, I'm by myself, I have my car, I'm in a newer town for me, I don't know as many places to go. What would you say to someone like me who says, I kind of need some work on my car?
Boy, that's a good one. Internet is a lot. We do a lot of branding at Car Crafters.
Okay.
So you're going to look at, who's advertising, right? You're new to town. But again, ask your insurance company, ask your agent, ask your friends and family who've had good experiences with shops before.
Okay, well, that's important. And, the thing is, you want to make sure that your insurance coverage is adequate. So if you have an accident, what are the things you want to look out for with your insurance policies? What are those kind of, what kind of tips would you have?
Obviously, again, call your agent. Make sure that if you're driving a $50,000 car that you have coverage for a $50,000 car.
Right.
Because the minimums are usually less than that.
Okay.
So that's one thing. And while you get your agent on the phone, it's a really good idea to reduce your deductible. We are seeing an epidemic of $1,000 deductibles.
I am guilty. I just did that. I just did it for lower payments. Probably not that much.
I bet it's not $50 a year.
I'll tell you that it's probably was the difference between paying, I think, maybe $70 a month versus $63 a month, I think.
Yeah,
something like that.
It's so minimal. And yet, if you have a crash once every 3 or 4 years, at $50 a year, that's 20 years to recover that deductible.
Ooh.
And while you're there, add rental car coverage to the policy. It can't be $3 or $4 a month. It's really cheap.
That's a good point.
So we're going to have your car 3 or 4 days generally. You got to get to work.
Yeah.
Call your agent, reduce your deductible, and add rental car coverage.
Because
that's the biggest problem that we see today.
That's a good point. And a lot of things that people question is, how do I protect myself? Because we don't want to assume that we are going to have an accident, but we also have to. That's the whole point of insurance. We just never know, and you want to be protected. So, I mean, I know for me, I was looking. You look at collision, you look at property damage, you look at liability. Right? These are all those things.
Liability is required. Comp and collision are optional. Comprehensive is fire, theft, vandalism, or act of God.
Right.
Make sure that you get uninsured motorist. You've got about a 50-50 chance of being run into by someone without insurance in New Mexico.
In New Mexico, especially. In fact, that's interesting you said that, because I've been hearing a lot about that, a lot about uninsured drivers across New Mexico. So get your insurance. Now, I want to talk about the background of Car Crafters, because that's your baby, and I want to hear a little bit and let our viewers in on the history of Car Crafters.
Well, I was going to school to be a dentist and took a slight departure.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been in the industry now about 30 years and been in business. We're going on our 29th year right now.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So, yeah,
good for you.
Just followed my passion of cars, and here we are.
It's probably a lot more fun to fix a car than have to sit and look at people cringing in a chair, and
Yeah.
and that's of course no offense to the dentists. We need you out there, our dentists we need, but it's probably a little bit less painful because we don't actually see the things you're doing to the cars in the process. We see the end results, but with our teeth, we're in that moment.
That's right. That's right.
So you've been doing this now. So how many years did you say?
Almost 30 years in the
30.
industry and 29 in business.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it's so nice to hear that. And it's a family business, which I think people always value. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my wife works there. My son is a discovery manager, and my daughter does our marketing and special projects. And, of course, we've got, I think, now up to almost 60 employees.
Wow.
So,
well, that's amazing. And I just want to let everybody know that Car Crafters is actually located at 600 Montano Northeast, and the number to call is... Did I say Montano?
Montano.
Sorry. My accents, I was too busy in the British accent today. Montano, 881-8889. And the website, very simple, www.carcrafters.com. Hours are very easy to find, you guys, Monday through Friday. And that's what, from 8 a.m.
8 to 5:30.
To 5:30.
And we usually stay late, so.
And that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
And we appreciate a family business thriving in town. So thank you so much for coming in, Jim.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Now I know where to go when
That's
I
right.
need some work on my car, which hopefully I won't for a little while. And stick around because we've got a lot more fun coming up. Corned beef on the way.